You ever hear a song come on the radio and you immediately think of the movie that it was in the 1980s? Stick around, we're going to go over some of my favorites.
All I need are some tasty waves, cool buzz, and I'm fine.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Graham, back with another video. This week's video is regarding songs that come on the radio and then almost instantly, without any thought, you remember the movie that it was in. Happens to me quite often. I'm sure it happens to you. I put together a list of my top 15, although I think this is going to be part one because I could probably do 2 or 3 videos of this, of 10 minutes long. So I don't want to make a 30-minute long video for you guys. Try to keep it short and simple. But I'm going to definitely have to do more because I know I left a lot out. But again, I just wanted to pick the ones that seem to stand out for me. I'm sure for most people, you have your own list. These are in no particular order, except for number 1 and number 2. Specifically, these are my 2 favorite. All the other ones, there's not one before the other, but 1 and 2 are very, very specific. And feel free to drop a comment and agree or add some songs that are the ones that pop into your head of the movies when you hear the song. So I kind of have like a little bonus list. I'm not going to include songs in the video that have the title in the song. So I'm going to kind of do honorable mentions, so to speak. So one of them being, the first one being Pretty in Pink from Psychedelic Furs in 1986. It's obvious the name of the song is Pretty in Pink, and it was in the movie Pretty in Pink. Prince, The Bat Dance in 1989 for Batman, which was a really cool video, super cool song. But once again, kind of goes hand in hand with the title of the movie. Kenny Loggins, Footloose, 1984. Obviously, the name of the movie is Footloose. The name of the song is Footloose. Ray Parker Jr., 1984 for Ghostbusters. Obviously, it's definitely in the list, obviously, but the title is in the song. So as soon as you hear Who You Gonna Call Ghostbusters, if you don't realize it and think about the movie, then there's something wrong. Lamal, I think is how you pronounce it. 1984, the Neverending Story movie, and the song called Neverending Story. If you're wondering or thinking that guy looks familiar, yes, that's the lead singer from Kajagoogoo. Cyndi Lauper, 1985, The Goonies Are Good Enough is the name of the song. So obviously it was from the Goonies movie. Another one for Prince, of course, Purple Rain. The name of the movie, Purple Rain. The name of the song, Purple Rain. And last but not least, Duran Duran, 1985, A View to a Kill, which up until the last Bond movie was the #1 selling or most listened to, or what, I forget the term, but it was the #1 Bond song ever done until the most recent movie. I believe Billie Eilish did the song there, and that one has outsold Duran Duran. So they held the record since 1985. So with that said, let's get into my top 15. Again, not in any particular order, except for number 1 and number 2. So starting with number 15. One that stands out to me is When the Going Gets Tough by Billy Ocean in 1985 in the movie The Jewel of the Nile. Great movie. Romancing the Stone was obviously the first one. The second one was The Jewel of the Nile. And the third one was The War of the Roses, although they weren't the same characters, but it was the same actors that kind of came together again to be part of that movie. 14. This video clip I actually love to watch because it's super awesome, but Maniac by Michael Sambello, 1983, in the movie Flashdance. Also had a lot of other really good songs in there. Maybe that'll make it into video 2 or video 3. Number 13. Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now by Starship in 1987. Of course, the movie Mannequin, which is an awesome movie. I still probably watch it maybe twice a year. Probably going to watch it again because I just seen the Andrew McCarthy documentary that he did on Hulu called The Brat Pack, which was a really good documentary. If you haven't watched it, check it out if you have Hulu. It's pretty cool to watch. Number 12. Take My Breath Away by Berlin, 1986. Of course, the movie Top Gun. And sticking with Top Gun, you can't leave out Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins. Just a freaking awesome song. Goes hand in hand with the movie, and couldn't imagine the movie not having it. So obviously, as soon as I hear those two songs, whether it's Berlin or Danger Zone, I immediately think of Top Gun. Again, drop a comment below what songs that stand out to you that aren't on this list, and make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification for future videos that come out. So we are down to number 10. In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel, 1989. Of course, Say Anything, the iconic scene with him holding the boombox over his head in his trench coat. Again, another great movie, more of a serious movie. John Cusack did a lot of goofy comedies back in the 80s, but this one was one that was on the more serious side, but actually a really, really good movie. Number 9, a movie that I still love to watch all the time. As soon as I hear this song on the radio, Addicted to Love by Robert Palmer, 1988. Of course, the movie Cocktail with Tom Cruise. You're going to notice Tom Cruise on here a couple times because he's in some really good movies, and consequently, they had some really good music that went along with those movies. Kind of makes you wonder, like, is it the chicken or the egg that came first, right? The egg before the chicken or the chicken before the egg? So it kind of makes you wonder, would the movie have been as good if it didn't have some really good songs to go along with it? Because we all know that music sets the tone and the mood. So what do you think? Do you think the Top Gun would have still been great without Danger Zone and Berlin? I don't know. Would Cocktails has been as good without Addicted to Love or Kokomo? Makes you wonder. Drop a comment and let me know. Number 8. Is The Eye of the Tiger from Survivor, 1982, Rocky 3. And surprisingly, as you've noticed, I've been rolling B-roll of each video up. I am shocked to say, I'm ashamed to say that I do not have Rocky 3. I was shocked. I didn't have it on Laserdisc, I don't have it on VHS, and I don't have it on DVD. So now I will make a mental note next time I'm at the thrift store or a garage sale and I see one, I'm going to buy it. Number 7. Cruel Summer by Bananarama, 1984. Of course, The Karate Kid. I love that song in that movie. And then also in the Cobra Kai series, they did a remake of that one. I don't know the name of the artist. It was more sultry and mysterious in the way that she sung it, but it was very well done. And I'll probably drop that across the screen because I'll look it up and have to find out who that is. Then we have one of my favorite movies. I'm surprised at how many people don't know this movie or haven't watched it. So if you've never seen it before, it's a little goofy but fun and action-packed at the same time. And that is the song Rhythm of the Night by DeBarge in 1985, which was, of course, featured in the movie The Last Dragon. Absolutely love that movie. Need to watch it again. Number 5, breaking into the top 5. If You Leave by OMD in 1986 in Pretty in Pink. I know some of y'all might have that as a number 1 or a number 2, but that's just kind of too obvious. And some of the other ones that are going to be on the list are kind of too obvious as well. I'm sure they'd be on number 1 or number 2 of a lot of people's lists, but that's just too obvious. So once again, great song. Wonderful final scene, the dance scene in the movie when they're all there was absolutely, actually, if you go back and you do some research on that, that song wasn't the correct song. They had another song and they filmed it, and then they realized that that song had just been used in another movie that's coming up on the list. So they didn't want to use the same song, so they got with OMD to create this song, and I think they said they did it all from start to finish in less than 72 hours before they had to fly out to go back on tour. So that's a pretty amazing story in itself. Maybe I'll do a video on that one day in the future. Number 3, this is our number 4. Back to Prince, When Doves Cry, 1984 in Purple Rain. So of course, every time I hear that song, I think of the movie. Absolutely great movie, by the way. And that whole album that he did was just phenomenal. And I watched that movie very, very often. I own it on VHS, DVD, and I even have it on Laserdisc. Number 3, we're breaking into the top 3. And this is probably one that you are expecting to be maybe number 1, but it's number 3 to me, and that is Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds, 1985. Of course, the movie The Breakfast Club. Great song. I probably listen to it every week because I have a mix on YouTube, and it always kind of seems to filter that song in there. But still love listening to it and watching the video, and it still, hits me in a wonderful way every single time I hear it. So number 2. Now I will admit this song, I rarely ever hear it on the radio, but I had to put it in this list just because it is such a badass song that really went hand in hand with a really badass movie. And I agree. I think that this movie would have never been the same in some of those scenes if this song wasn't in it. Let's see if you can think about it real quick. What is it? It's Cry Little Sister. By Gerard McMahon, 1987. Of course, the movie The Lost Boys. That is just such a sick song. It's perfect with the scene, and just really cool song to begin with. So number 1, we're going to do a drum roll. Nope, no drum roll. Okay. Number 1, you've probably been wondering if it was going to be on this list. Drop a comment if you agree with me that this is number 1 on your list too. At least on most boys at the time, now men, we love this scene even still to this day. And that is Moving in Stereo by The Cars, 1982. Of course, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Absolutely funny movie, hilarious movie, and a very awesome scene. So if you know what I'm talking about, obviously you're seeing the footage. You know what I'm talking about. Obviously can't show that on a YouTube video, but a wonderful scene. And that song, once again, is just a really badass song. And then you put it in that scene, it just makes, it elevates both the song and both the movie. So that's all I got for this one. Again, I've got probably another 30 songs that I whittled down to just these 15. So I probably will do some future videos on them, depending on if you guys like this, seeing how many people we get to watch it. If it's something that is something that I see that the algorithm on YouTube pushes out there and people want to know more about these songs and the movies that go along with it. So again, I've asked it a few times. Now that you've seen the video, drop a comment below of some of the songs that when you hear on the radio, you immediately think of the movie. And let's keep it with 80s. I got some 90s ones. That might be another video. But any 80s movies that as soon as you hear the song, do you immediately think of the movie that it came from? Drop that comment below. And again, if you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification to get notified of future videos coming up. I thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.